million question, Pam. If you had a magic wand, given a blank slate and the authority to create, to reimagine learning environments, what would be some of the foundational, unshakable characteristics of that learning environment for you?
That is $1 million question, Peter. And I would always relate things back to social emotional learning, to connection. If I was to bring one curriculum piece or piece that all teachers needed to have, is how do you, an explicit, and then you can flavor it how you like, and even up to high school, because we think it only needs to happen in elementary, but those kids, those big children, and they are children in high school, need it as well. How are you going to build community in your classroom, and what are you doing? So I'd have some curriculum with greeting. How do you greet your kids each day? How do you check in with them? What do you do as a community to hear opinions? Do you have a circle? Do you close the week with a circle? How do you listen for student voice? How do you promote student voice? So those are all things that I would love to be tied into a curriculum that's fluid and loose, but explicit, because we assume that everyone knows and everyone can set up community, but I think it's highly lacking, and it is so foundational. So the day starts, and the kids come in, and I meet them at the door.
Oh, I see.
And they can choose a greeting from here, or they can make up their own. And it's just that eye contact, that personal greeting. This is a place you're welcome, this is your home for the day, and let's get started.
How simple is that?
That's it. So we have a lot of fun. They change it up. Some have the same one every day. We've done secret handshakes, we've done different things, but it is that connection. And it really, building community is about connection and connecting with those students in your room.
So the next stage in community building.
So the other thing, when kids come in the room, so we've had the greeting at the door, and then they come in, and we don't know what they've experienced in the morning. We don't know how they're coming in. And so how do they let us know? We do check-ins, and it can be so simple. And this idea actually came from kids. We were working with math, and I had an elaborate check-in where they were doing it in their notebooks, and I really hadn't thought it through. But they said, well, why don't we just put a block on our desk? And so we developed together this check-in, and so they have just a stack of cubes in their desk, and then in the morning they put whatever color matches how they're feeling, and they put a white cube with it if they want a conversation with me, for me to go and talk, but I can just do a quick look and see who's having a rough morning.
How well does it work in practice?
It works very well. It works very well. Like everything else, it doesn't work the whole year. So I start out with this, and then it kind of dies off a bit, and then we have to resurrect it or change it a little bit. But this is one thing we've used for checking in. But it really, you do need those quick ways of assessing where your students are emotionally. And seeing who really needs that check-in and who really needs your time. And this is one quick way.
Thank you.
The biggest thing for kids to see, we've talked about different types of intelligence, but really it is about them seeing their own greatness and the greatness of others. So I'm going to bring you to the greatness wall.
Okay, a greatness wall.
And one of the first questions is, what are some of your greatnesses?
Okay.
And what?
Oh, look at that.
And how are they going to help our community?
And these were generated by the youngsters, by the students.
They are, and a lot of adjectives there, a lot of, And so I have got them on magnets because we'll do greatness detectives and we'll have different qualities we put up, and then I have some secret detectives who are looking for kids who are showing that quality for that week.
Okay.
But we keep referring to it, and we do person of the day.
Yeah.
And when we do person of the day, and I wait till a few months in so they get to know each other.
Yes, yes.
And I just cut little strips of paper and they do a compliment, a genuine. We talk about what a genuine compliment is, and we talk about the recipe for a genuine compliment and how it feels to receive one.
Okay.
And so they each write their compliment for that person. They go to the greatness wall because the recipe is the person's name, what are one or two of their greatnesses, and what's some evidence to back that up. And then they sign it. You need to own your words. And so at the end, you know, all 30 students have written a compliment. The person whose day it is writes a little cover page with their name in bubble letters, collect those, staple them together, and they go home with that. And I will tell you, Peter, just last week I ran into an former student, not old, still young, but well into their 20s. And the first thing students will say to me, Mrs. Parks, I still have my person of the day. And so that's powerful.
That is powerful.
It's powerful. The words of their peers. And those genuine compliments on hard days, they look at those and they remember who they are. And that has impact.
When you have a group of children, students coming in, how do you view them in terms of intelligence? Because you really flatten the hierarchy, don't you? You don't believe in the fact that some kids are brilliant, or no, you believe all kids are brilliant.
Absolutely.
How do you enact that?
Well, you know, we start with a multiple intelligence survey, and just to highlight that we all are brilliant, and there's so many different ways to be intelligent, if we want to use that word. And kids start to look at all the different ways that they can show their genius and show their brilliance, and it changes things.
It does.
Because, you know, someone who does gymnastics, but maybe can't, math is not their strength. Rhythm and movement, that's a whole brilliance right there. Art, drawing, another brilliance. And we start to see that, you know, someone who is school brilliant maybe can't do all the things that other kids can do. So it's really, we all have all the intelligences, but we all have them in varying degrees. And math and, you know, the traditional celebrated ones at school aren't the only ones.
No, they're certainly not.
And so that's a focus.
So moving through the connection here, I see you're into Genius Hour.
I love Genius Hour. We all know the origins of it and the success that it has had in business and in schools. And it's an exciting way that I end the school year with. We have a lot of fun with it. We have kids who are making their own pinball game.
Well, I'm just looking. It's astonishing.
I know.
A pinball game, character design through code, the collapse of the Austro. Where did that come from?
Well, I've got a kid who loves history, so that's what he's having fun. So the rule is, if you are not having fun doing Genius Hour, then you've picked the wrong topic.
Absolutely.
And so what do you want to learn about? So they decide, and then we talk about what's the driving question. If it's Googleable, then they have to rethink it. It has to have legs. And so we've got kids in here, they're doing their friendship bracelets and trying to perfect their designs, and they have a whole thing going on with that. I had kids the other day, it's brilliant for me, I'm learning things. They were hand knitting. They had the big knitting, I don't know, not thread, but wool, and they had a purse made by the end. How is that even possible? It's brilliant.
Isn't it brilliant? And you see also, and it's also, every time I've been involved, it's surprising
It is surprising, and every year
You
it's
have no
totally
idea where these kids are going to
different.
go. And what I love about it too, I've come across this so many times, the topics sometimes that they come up with, nobody in the school has got a clue,
No,
which takes you immediately to community.
that's right.
And then there's always people in the community who are only too happy to come in.
That's for sure, for sure.
Genius hour.
And it takes you to a bigger concept of community in the classroom.
Yeah.
And for all these kids to celebrate each other, and there's just a buzz as they're working, and there's
Yeah.
no judgment on the topics. It's just,
No.
wow, that's super cool. And so, that sense of community that starts day one, when kids come in the classroom, and how do you build that, and how do you forge that? And that is my passion. Kids cannot take risks, they can't learn at school unless they feel safe, cared about, and you've built community in that classroom. So that's important too. And Genius Hour is sort of the culminating
Yeah.
fun part.
I think it's
of the
more
year.
than important. I think it's critical.
It's not only critical, Peter, it's foundational.
Yeah.
And if we don't start realizing that, we won't be able to get to the crux of the crisis in education. And so, looking at what our pillars stand on, the foundation, and the foundation is not math, and it's not language, and it's not any of the subject areas.
No.
It's how kids feel. It's social emotional learning. It's how kids feel when they're in the building. And so we give it lip service,
Yeah.
but where we spend our money is what we deem important.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to a time where there is PD, where we have coaches who come in and help new teachers
Yeah.
with building community and taking those steps, because we just assume that it's counterintuitive,
No.
and it's not always.
No.
It's not always. It takes skill.
Not everybody's the same with everything
Yeah.
that they're the best at, right? So everyone has different things, and now that we can choose something that we're passionate about is just amazing.
Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
So Genius Hour offers you a lot of choice.
Yes, it gives you so much freedom, and you basically get to spend a bit of time in class doing what you like to do and learning, and it's a lot better than just having assigned work and just sitting at a desk.
Do you enjoy having choice in your own learning?
I love having choice. It gives you multiple options so you can do your own learning. Like you can make it your own.
Yeah. Okay, and that's important to you.
It is.
Yeah, and yeah, would you agree?
Yeah.
What aspect of it? What attracts you to that choice that you have?
I enjoy getting the options of what I get to learn,
Okay.
and I can choose them,
Yeah.
and I really like that part of Genius Hour.
Okay.
I also agree because having the options allows you to know more, and if there's subjects that you've never even known about before, you can dig deeper on that subject or a passion that you love, and that's really great what it's about Genius Hour.
Thank you all so much. Is it important to you to get that choice?
It is, yeah.
Can you
it is.
explain why?
Because when you get assigned certain projects that are supposed to be done a certain way, your creative brain sort of gets shut down. But when you get to choose your own topic and explore what you really like, your creative brain gets to get better and opened up.
Why does that happen, do you think?
I think it's because your brain is doing something that it's comfortable with and it loves, and so therefore it feels more comfortable to open up and explore more.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Would you normally get an opportunity to do something like this in school?
I don't think it would be the same in lots of other classes, but this one's very nice because we get to find something we're passionate about and do a whole project on it.
Yeah. Why is that important to you?
Because we get to learn in our own way and we aren't forced to do one specific thing.
In this Genius Hour project, Olivia, you get an awful lot of choice over what you learn. Do you like that choice?
Yes, I really do. I feel like it would make it easier for recitals, and since I want to be in an orchestra when I grow up, I feel like it would be a good advantage to learn that now than ever.
Yeah. More generally speaking, though, you happen to the clarinet, but do you think it's a good idea in schools, in classrooms, for kids to be given more choice over a lot of the things that they learn?
Yes, I feel like you should give them way more choice on their opinions and what they like to do.
Why?
Because then they are free to choose what they like and they could just be themselves, and like everyone should be proud to be themselves.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Here we are again, Pam, back in your classroom.
Here we are, Peter, and we've got lots going on today.
Yeah, so you got what's happening? Explain
So
this.
it's been exciting, and today we have kids working on various things. I think it's learning like you haven't seen in a classroom before. We have Genius Hour going on. You can hear a little bit of clarinet practicing.
Yeah.
We have coding. We have so much. So this is an example of genius in action,
Yeah.
and the kids are just waiting for you to come and check out what they've been
Absolutely.
doing.
And so my understanding is that the projects are entirely developed through areas of personal interest.
Absolutely. So the rule was, one, you can't Google it. It
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
Googleable. It has to be something that you really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, then you pick the wrong topic.
Yeah.
And then they just go on their own, and they've been researching and doing hands-on or whatever. So
Fantastic.
enjoy.
Hard to enjoy. Thanks, Pam.
Yeah.
I'm now here with
Scarlett.
Scarlett. What's your Passion Bridge project? What's your Genius Hour project?
It's how to define different art styles.
How to define different art styles. Where did you come up with that?
Well, I just know a lot of people have trouble to define different art styles, specifically ones that aren't like realism. They mistake it as anime, which isn't always true.
Okay. Can you take me through something? Can you talk me through what you're talking about there?
So I've been drawing a bunch of different art styles, like the same character,
Okay.
and I've been
Can we put it down over here so I can just, and then you talk me through it? Oh, I see. Okay.
And I've been looking through videos of different people drawing stuff and like what things they do. For
Okay.
example, a lot of abstract people who draw abstract,
Oh,
they
yeah.
put triangles as noses or like
Okay.
their
Yes.
eyes circles.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of people put this little hair strand with like, I think
Okay.
it's called like a raccoon tail when they do it like
Okay.
that. And then there's also alt where they add a bunch of blush and like these lines right here.
Okay. This is so cool. And realism. Talk to me about realism
Realism.
or semi-realism.
Well, semi-realism is a lot like realism,
Yeah.
except it's more like cartoonish, but not all the way cartoonish.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like,
Yeah.
It doesn't
yeah.
have as much detail, but it's still detailed enough to be semi-realism.
Okay.
That's where the name came from.
That is so cool. And talented to be able to capture those different. I mean, that's brilliant. You've just taught me something I'd never really considered. Animating clay with stop motion by Julia and Mia. I'm really lucky to be here with
Mia
Mia.
and Julia.
Lovely. Wow, this is an interesting topic. Why did you choose it?
interested in learning how to animate clay
Okay.
because I haven't ever done that.
Okay.
And then I started this project, and Mia joined me after.
Okay. And what was it that attracted you, Mia?
I was originally going to make movies because I love to watch movies.
Okay.
And Miss Parks suggested that I work with Julia into making stop motions, a mini clay movie.
Okay.
And that really interested me.
Okay. How did you first hear about stop motion?
I started doing it a few months ago.
Okay.
And I did it with toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And I haven't ever done it with clay.
Yeah.
So I started doing this project.
That's amazing. So show me a little bit about how you go about doing it. Can you show me? So you actually you make these and then you take photographs of
I
them?
take photographs of moving them little by little, and I play them all together, and it looks like it's all moving.
That's really clever. Can you show me an example on the video?
Maybe that's good. This was the first one.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this one. That's kind of yeah. This one she took about double pictures.
That is so clever. Wow.
And then we started doing little clips.
Okay.
Like this. This one's a bit long. I made 2 balls of clay.
All right, we'll just do it. Oh, wow. Okay. So, generally speaking, that's just brilliant. But so Genius Hour allows you to explore something that you're really interested in. You have a lot of choice. Is that important to you in the learning?
It
Why?
feels like I can decide how I want to learn, and it seems like I can actually choose what I want to learn, and I have a choice in what I learn and how I learn and how much I learn. It depends on how much I want to learn, what I want to learn, and I actually have a choice to do.
Okay. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
Why is it
because
important to you?
In school, we get like subjects to learn, but in Genius Hour, we can choose a topic we want to
Yeah.
and just do it.
Yeah. How does that make you feel in yourselves when you're involved in something that you really like?
It makes me feel that classwork is actually fun. It's not just boring old homework and
Yeah.
text and other things.
Yeah.
You can actually do work that's fun.
Thank you both very much. What are you studying? What are you investigating for your Genius Hour project?
I'm exploring new and improved and advanced friendship bracelet patterns.
Friendship bracelets. Well, tell me more.
Well, I already love them and I'm very good at them, I think. And I do them all the time.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of patterns that are really advanced and
Okay.
really cool that I want to learn.
Okay. Can you give me an example? Can you show me how you do this?
Okay. So, in every bracelet, it's the same sort of knot that you do.
Okay.
You tie it up to the front. And you basically just,
Boy, you've done this before.
yeah.
Look.
Basically, it's the knots, but depending on where you put them and what strings tie onto whichever ones,
Yeah.
that's what makes the pattern. And different colors and everything.
And do you memorize these patterns?
I do.
Wow. How many different patterns have you got in your head right now?
Oh wow. A lot. I would round it up to about 30.
That's amazing. With
Will
and
and
Ryan.
Ryan.
You've been working on a Genius Hour project.
Yes.
What did you decide to do?
Soccer pinball machine.
A soccer pinball machine. Why did you choose that?
We like to be creative.
Okay.
Do fun things.
Okay, and that combined those two things. You've actually created a game for yourselves. Yeah. You get a lot of choice in Genius Hour. Is that important to you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to do something someone's picked for me. I want to be creative and do my own thing.
Is that important for you as well? Does that impact on your learning? How does that choice impact on you as a learner?
lets you learn about stuff you like.
Okay. And why is that important?
You can go like farther in anything
You can go farther.
when you create something like that.
Okay. Should schools do more of this type of learning?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see you playing. Let's go. This is very cool. All right. There it is. What's your topic for the Genius Hour project?
Like investigating into why the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed.
Why the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed. Where did you come up with that as a passion, as a fascination?
I just always found the country as an interesting topic, and I never really looked into it.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What have you learned?
The assassination of their prince,
Yeah.
and then who assassinated him and when it happened.
Okay. And that led to
That helped contribute to its collapse.
its collapse, and you've got a little presentation here of it. Wow, that is very cool. Can you just flick through so I get to see a few of the slides? I see. Okay, so you've gone about this in a sort of a PowerPoint presentation style. Good for you. Why did you choose stop motion?
It's funny to make, and it's just really cool to see the result once you're done, like all the hard work.
Yeah. Is there a lot of hard work?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
You need to place the little clay models everywhere on the set, and you
Yeah.
need to make sure that there's no white gaps in between the set and your surroundings.
Okay, right on. And Charlie, what attracts you to this? Why do you like it?
I like the sculpting idea of it. So making the little characters for Penelope to film in the movies.
Okay, so that's your passion. That's great. And is it time consuming?
Yes, it is time
Yes.
consuming.
Yeah. And how about yourself?
I really like seeing the end results.
Okay, I'll bet you do. Yeah, because there's a lot of meticulous work that goes into it. Who's gonna take me through this and show me the end results? Okay.
So this is our movie.
This is the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my. That's amazing. That is so cool. That's funny. You've got great sense of humor. Well, I'm so glad you showed me that, and congratulations. I'm going to nominate that for an Oscar. Thanks, girls. This up. Oscar, you're doing a Genius Hour project.
Yeah.
What are you doing it on? What is this?
This is a model of a green roof.
A green roof?
Yeah.
Okay. What attracts you to a green roof? Why is that your passion?
Because I like the environment.
Yeah?
And roofs. And I also don't really like in cities there are lots of rainwater which comes down.
Okay.
And if houses have green roofs, then none of the stormwater rushes in.
Oh, I see.
Because the plants absorb it.
Okay.
And so most of the rainwater is in the roots, and all the rainwater that runs off is pretty much clean.
Okay.
Because they filter it.
It filters through.
Yes.
Wow, that's a very cool. What made you think of this, Oscar?
I was looking at videos online to see what you could do, and then I discovered the green roof, and I just wanted to learn more about it.
So, in this Genius Hour, you get an awful lot of choice over what you do.
Yeah.
And do you like that, having that choice?
Yeah.
Why?
I like it because I get to explore more about my passions.
Okay, what is it about sewing that intrigues you? You're interested enough that you've made it your Genius Hour project.
I really love to create stuff, and I find that sewing would be a great way to do it, especially because
Yeah.
you like see results in 3D, and also it's just I love.
Okay.
It's just fun.
I would say it's fun to create stuff,
Yeah.
and it's a new way to improve.
Absolutely. So can you give me a demonstration of what you've been learning about?
So we have a few demonstrations. Like we have been exploring new stitches.
Okay.
Like right now we're creating a bunny stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And for our presentation, we were going to present a slideshow explaining what we think about all the stitches.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you've created a slideshow.
So this is
First stitch.
it's the running stitch.
Okay.
Is that what you said?
I think.
Yeah, the running stitch. Yeah, that says so. And so then on each of the slides, you're showing different types of
Yeah,
stitches.
we're sewing different types of stitches. We chose 3 stitches, and we are trying each of them out.
Yeah.
And whichever one we find like best and most
Yeah.
efficient, we are going to use on the bunny.
That's I see. Okay, so you're going to have an actual product at the end of this. Okay. Hey, I am here with Nicholas and Ahmed. Nice to meet you both. What have you been up to for Genius Hour?
I've been trying to make How to Get Rich with me and Connor. He's in France, so
Okay, how to get rich.
yeah.
Great. And what have you learned?
We've learned about freelancing, dropshipping,
Drop shipping. Okay.
freelancing,
Freelancing.
and e-commerce. And we've made tips to do tips to when you have the money, like investing and stuff like that.
What made you be interested in that?
I've always found it interesting about like money,
Yeah?
me and Connor. So we decided to work together on a Genius Hour.
That's fantastic. And what have you been up to?
I've been creating a basketball game,
Oh.
which
Oh, wow.
you are able to move around,
Oh.
and you can jump and shoot a basketball.
Oh.
And
So
you can
you've
jump
created a
through it.
game.
Yes, and you can put it into the hoop and you can get points.
This is coding.
Yes, I can show you the code.
Okay, that seems pretty advanced to me. Oh, I see. Wow.
So it starts from one column of code all
Yeah.
the way down to
That is so
320.
cool. Thank you both. With
Ishmael.
Ishmael, what have you been studying for your Genius, investigating for your Genius Hour project?
I've been investigating the road to victory for Argentina in the World Cup.
The football World Cup, or as they call it in North America, the Soccer World Cup.
Yeah.
Why that fascination? What is it that interests you there?
Since I was a little kid, since
Yeah.
I can walk, I always played soccer.
Okay.
And every time, my biggest idol was Messi.
Okay.
And every time when I fall or I get hurt, every time I think, okay, if I want to be the best, I have to keep on working like him.
That is so interesting.
And now I just want to see how he finally got the best trophy in the world.
Okay. And so really he's your idol and he's actually influenced your life?
A little, yes.
Yeah, in that way. So what have you learned? Give me, briefly, what have you learned?
I've learned that maybe sometimes look like it's easy when they score a goal, or that it's not really that complicated.
Okay.
But before every game, there's always these tiny details, the tiniest details that can change the game. And that's what I've learned, that anything can happen.
Yeah.
Even like in a split second in soccer, anything that you do can change the whole game.
Do you think that applies to life?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
I think that if you give a good, if you do something good, it'll come back to you. Like, let's say you open a door for someone. Maybe tomorrow they're gonna open a door for you.
Or for somebody else?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Thank you very much.